EPF and ESI registration of establishments through Shram Suvidha portal. I am Sabu Joseph. Welcome to SBJ Academy. Hundreds of practical and useful videos relating to income tax, TDS, EPF, ESI, Microsoft Excel and other accounting classes are available in my channel. Kindly watch it and drop your comments. Please subscribe my channel if not subscribed yet, and please enable the bell icon to get real-time notification. If the videos are really useful, please share the channel to your friends and colleagues. Facebook group is also available. Kindly join the group. You can share your doubts, ideas and requirements on the group. More than 3,800 members are already joined the group. In this video, I will show you how to register establishments to EPFO and ESI through a common online portal, Shram Suvidha. Before going to the portal, just introducing what is Shram Suvidha portal. Shram Suvidha portal is an ease of doing business labor law reform initiative by Ministry of Labor and Employment, Government of India. Shram Suvidha portal launched on 16th October 2014 with a facility to get all kinds of registrations and submit returns in context of labor laws at a single online window. Office of Chief Labor Commissioner Central, Directorate General of Mine Safety, Employees Provident Fund Organization and Employees State Insurance Corporation has developed a single unified web portal for online registration of units, reporting of inspections and submissions of annual returns, which is known as Shram Suvidha portal, which is covering 16 labor laws. So on the Shram Suvidha portal, we can register our establishment to EPFO and ESIC. Shram Suvidha is a common portal for registering establishments to EPFO and ESIC. What is the objective of Shram Suvidha portal? Because already we can register our establishment through EPFO portal as well as ESIC portal. Then what is the objective of Shram Suvidha portal? The main objective of Shram Suvidha portal is consolidation of information of labor inspection and its enforcement. It leads to transparency and accountability of inspections. The compliances are reportable in a single harmonized form, which makes it simple and easy for those filing such a form. What are the features of Shram Suvidha portal? The first main feature is Unique Labor Identification Number, LIN, allotted to units, facilitating online registration. When we register an establishment through Shram Suvidha portal, immediately we will get a LIN number, Labor Identification Number. Filing of self-certified, simplified single online return by industries, units will only file a single consolidated online return instead of separate returns. After the introduction of Shram Suvidha portal, we can file a single return for the EPFO and ESI. So the main features of Shram Suvidha portal is Unique Labor Identification Number will be allotted to its establishment immediately after registration. And the second is Unified ECR for EPF and ESI. So as far as concerned with the establishment, it is very convenient for filing the returns. We can use only one single ECR for filing the EPF return and ESI return. And also after the introduction of Shram Suvidha portal, 50 registers or forms replaced by 5 common registers or forms. Before the introduction of Shram Suvidha portal, we have to maintain 56 registers or forms under various labor laws. But after the introduction of Shram Suvidha portal, all these 56 forms replaced by only 5 registers or forms under different laws. So the Shram Suvidha portal is reducing the compliance burden of establishments. Now we can see the registration process of establishments through Shram Suvidha portal. This is the Shram Suvidha portal. The URL is shramsuvidha.gov.in. For registering the establishments to EPFO or ESI, first of all, we have to create a Shram Suvidha account. That means if you are doing the online registration, you have to create a Shram Suvidha account. For creating the Shram Suvidha account, click on Create Shram Suvidha account. Now we have to give all these informations: first name, middle name, last name, email ID, mobile number, verification code. After filling all these details, click on submit. You will get an OTP on your mobile as well as an email for creating new user ID and password. After creating the user ID and password, we will be on home screen. You have to enter the username here, then the password, give the captcha. Now click on submit. Now we log into the Shram Suvidha portal. Here we can see so many menus. On the first one, establishments, sub-menus. We can see three another sub-menus, dashboard, add, and view. If we have any establishment already registered through Shram Suvidha portal, that we can see here. Now nothing is here. Now we have to add a new establishment to the portal. So click on add. Registration of establishment for Lynn is now available on our new portal registration.shramsuvidha.gov.in. So click on the URL. We will go to another portal for the registration. Here we can see some menus. On the registration menu, registration under EPF and ESI. Open the link. Again it is asking for user ID and password. Here also we have to create one more user ID and password. This is for the establishment. The first user ID and password created for the person who is doing the registration. Now we are on the establishment registration process. Here you have to create another user ID password. We can click on sign up. We can give our name, email ID, mobile number, then captcha. Now our user ID and password created. Again come back to the portal. Here enter the username, password, then captcha. Now we enter to the registration port of Shram Suvidha. Here we can see one menu for registration. Open the menu. Registration for EPFO and ESI. Open the menu. Here we can see some information. Registration for EPFO and ESI for new public and private limited companies and one person company has been stopped on Shram Suvidha portal from 15th February 2020. With effect from 15th February 2020, no public and private limited companies and one person company shall get registration number for EPFO and ESI on MCA portal only at the time of incorporation. This is all the information given. Now click on apply for new registration. Now we can see acts applying for Employees State Insurance Act 1948, Employees Provident Fund and Miscellaneous Provision Act 1952. If we want to register only ESIC, select ESIC, and if we want to register only on EPFO, select EPFO, or if we want to register both the ESIC and EPFO, select the both. Now click on submit. Now we have to fill all these forms under 8 tabs. So the first tab is establishment details. Here under establishment details, first of all we have to give establishment name as per PAN. So provide the establishment name as per the PAN card. Then the address of the establishment give here, and the setup date when it is started. The date is given. Give the date of the setup. Establishment category, under which category our business will fall. Commercial establishment, factory, mine, other places of public amusement or entertainer, a residential hotel, restaurant, shop, theatre, others. If nothing is applicable to us, select others. Here we have to enter the PAN number of the establishment. The next one is sector, ownership type. Here we have to select the ownership type of our establishment, whether it is company, HUF, partnership firms, like that. So here I am selecting the limited liability partnership. If it is a startup business, we have to give the registration number and everything of the startup. DIPP startup register number. DIPP means Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion. Give the certificate number here. Then the certificate date. The establishment is MSME, specify MSME registration number. If the establishment is registered with the MSME, micro, small, medium enterprises, give the MSME number here. MSME certificate date. The next is ownership details. The date of registration, number of owners, issued at, registration deed number, issued by SIN, corporate identification number. This is for companies. So after filling all those details of establishment details, go to e-contact. The next tab, e-contact. Here give the primary email number and primary mobile number. Then save the draft. Go to next. The next tab is contact person. Under contact person, we have to enter the details of primary manager. Here the primary manager name. That name will be if it is a proprietorship, your proprietor or manager or director, partner, like that only. Who is managing the organization? Give the details of that primary manager here. His name, gender, date of birth, father name, date from which in position, designation, and his PAN number, address, locality, pin code, email ID, mobile number, everything. After the primary manager, give the details of primary owner. Sometimes both the person may be same. If the primary manager is another person, you can give the primary owner, who is the proprietor or partner, managing partner, director, managing director. Give the details of the primary owner. His name, gender, date of birth, father's name, date of from which in position, designation, PAN number, address, locality, pin code, email ID, mobile number, everything. We have more than one primary owner. We can again add the second primary owner details here. After completing this contact person tab, go to the next one, identifiers. This is our establishment identity. So first select the identifier. What are the license you have? That's appropriate license you have to select from the drop down list. So I am selecting here registrar of companies. Here on the identifier value, we have to mention the certificate number. The next is name as on identifier. Then the certificate date, issued by authority, registrar of company, issued at place. Which place? Mention the place which is shown as per the license. If you have to use these details for the address proof, select the checkbox, mark as address proof. If we want to add more identifier, click on add. We can add more identifiers. After completing the identifier tab, go to the employment details. So on the employment details tab, employee details covered under EPF Act related to EPFO. This is the data for the purpose of EPFO. Do EPF and MB Act applies to establishments? Whether the Employee Provident Fund and the Miscellaneous Provision Act applies to this establishment. If this is applicable, click on yes, or if it is not applicable and we are getting registration voluntarily, select voluntary coverage application. So now I am selected the voluntary coverage application. Number of employees including excluded employees as on date of application. Here we have to mention the number of employees on the date of registration and the number of excluded employees as on registration, the date of agreement between employer and the employee if it is in a contract, any subsequent date mentioned in the agreement, that's also mentioned here, date from which act will be applied. As a voluntary registration, now it is deactivated. If it is as per the law, it will activate, and we have to give the details, establishment multinational or not, no, whether any work business is being carried out through contractor or immediate employer, no, is there any hazardous activity in your establishment, no. So these are the data we have to give if it is applicable as per the law. Now it is not applicable, I am selecting voluntary. Select the appropriate option and its answer. Then the total number of employees employed for wages directly and through immediate employers on the date of application. This data related to ESIC. The first one, this is related to EPFO, and now it is asking for the ESIC registration. The number of workers as on date. How many male on a regular basis? If any employee under contract basis, give the number of male here, and here also females on a regular basis, females on contract labor. If there is any other basis, give the details here. Then the number of employees drawing wages rupees 21,000 or less. The total number of males who are drawing 21,000 or less mentioned here, and the total number of employees under contract labor. Here also the females under regular and females under contract labor who is receiving 21,000 or less, and others also. Now we completed the employee part. Coming down, the total wages paid in the preceding month. During the preceding month, what was the total wages paid to employees employed directly by the principal employer? Mention the total wages here. Employees employed through immediate contract mentioned here. Wages paid to employees drawing wages rupees 21,000 or less. So here we have to give the total wages for all those employees, and here we have to mention the total wages of employees drawing less than 21,000. On next, ESI code number. On next, here ESI code number if covered earlier. If we have registered with the ESIC earlier years, we have to mention the ESI number here. Name of income tax ward or circle. Maximum number of persons that can be employed on any one day as per license. Describe work carried out. Here just give what are the type of work we are doing. And next is other details common to both EPFO and ESIs. Whether the building or premises of factory or establishment is owned or hired. Here select if it is hired or rented, leased, owned. If we select hired or rented, details of if hired or there is a change in the name of the ownership, lease from, lease till, from which date we leased the building and the lease period mentioned here, and also the details of the lessee, building owner, then his name, gender, designation, date of birth, father's name, mobile number, email ID, date from which in possession, and address. Then if it is owned, select owned. Now all those questions disappear. Click on save draft and now save draft and click on next. Now we are on branch or division tab. Here we have to mention the branches or divisions if any we have. So here mention the name of the unit, relationship type, whether it is additional establishments, ancillary units, branch, factory, head office, liaison office, like that. Here I am selecting branch. Number of members in the branch. Here enter how many members are available on the branch. The name of the person responsible for office. Give here and the LIN number. If we already allotted any LIN number for the additional units, we have to give the LIN number here. If there is no LIN, leave it blank. And the address of the additional units or branches. Now go to the next tab, activities. On the activities tab, we have to select the economic activity as per National Industrial Classification, NIC. So for selecting the NIC code, National Industrial Classification code, search on NIC code. Here select the appropriate section of our establishment. If it is a manufacturing, select manufacturing and the division of manufacture. So many divisions are given. Select the appropriate manufacturing name here. If it is not available, we can select other manufacturing. Then the group. Here on the group, so many manufacturing groups name given. Select the appropriate group name. If it is not applicable to us, you can select other manufacturing. After group, we have to select the class of the group, other manufacturing, then the subclass. Manufacturer of so many articles name is given. Select the appropriate one. Again, we have nothing applicable to us. Again, select manufacturer of other articles. Now, our NIC code is C32909. In the next one is primary business activity. From here, we have to select our primary business activity. So select the appropriate one. Then the nature of work. So many items are given. Select the appropriate one. Subcategory of nature of work. Select the appropriate one or you can select others. Now the activity tab completed. Now go to the last one, attachments. Here we have to select the documents required for submission. Attachments as proof of address. Select the drop-down list. Any license or certificate number issued by the government authority. Copy of water connection, copy of postpaid telephone bill, copy of power connection. So this 4 proof we can use for the address proof. Select the appropriate proof of address here. Now we have to upload the document of that proof. Here I have selected water connection. So here you have to upload the latest water bill or any certificate issued by the water authority for the water connection and choose the file here, then click on upload. The next one is date of setup proof attachment. So any proof available for the setup of the establishment we have to upload here. Copy of the first sales invoice, copy of the first assessment by the income tax authorities. So what are the records you have available under this list you have to upload here, or you can select others, then upload the concerned document here. Give the reference number of the uploaded document here, its date, issued by whom, then click on upload. Now the document will be uploaded. Then the license proof of attachment. Here we have to mention the license proof attachment. What are the licenses we have? Specify it, then select the document, upload it. Here we can select the ROC certificate, RBI registration certificate, license issued by the municipal authorities, Panchayat, FSSI. What are the license we have mentioned here and upload the document here. Now we have to upload the specimen signature of the establishment. So one download sample format is given. download the form. This is the format. This format we have to fill and sign it. Then scan the documents, upload here. Next is copy of agreement for voluntary coverage. Here also one sample format given. Click on the download sample format. Now the license proof attachment open. Fill the form, sign it and upload here. Now we completed all the 8 tabs in all respect. Now click on submit. After submission, immediately we will get the establishment registration number under EPFO and the establishment registration under ESI. On the same time, we will get a labor identification number LIN on the portal. So this is the process of registering establishment to EPFO or ESI through SRAM Suvidha portal. Now we can do the registration only through SRAM Suvidha portal. On the EPFO portal and the ESIC portal, the registration link is given. But when we open the link, it will go to the SRAM Suvidha portal. We can do all the registration through SRAM Suvidha portal only. If you really like the video, please like, share and drop your comments. And please subscribe my channel and enable the bell icon to get real-time notifications. We can meet on next video. Till then, bye.